So we train them for scratch. So we will start teaching them sound of the scratch so that they know what that sound is.
And the sound of the scratch, what's the sound of the scratch?
Well,
Is that like the sound of music?
yes.
Okay. Fiona, hi Fiona. We're confused. My man scooper. What's up, dude?
Hey, what's up, mate? My boy, how my boy doing?
Heidi, it is the end of September. Hey, you know what? It's our anniversary tomorrow.
I know.
I was the first one to say it.
I thought it.
Oh, that doesn't count though. I could say I like that excuse though. Since you just used that excuse, I have that excuse from now on. I thought it.
Well, we talked about it all last week, or all this week.
I wouldn't say all last week. We had a conversation about it, so it was a good reminder. I don't have any reminders on my phone or anything.
That's good.
So we were actually out of town this week, right, for my work. We're in San Antonio, Texas. But we had Austin watching the farm. He did a great job.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, guys.
Yep, so thank you for watching over. The farm looks fantastic, coming into the fall flush. In fact, I think today's the first day of fall here in 2023. And we have this wonderful cloud cover to welcome in fall. Love it.
So nice.
But you were busy right before we headed out of town. So what were you working on? You had a helper this time.
I did. I had Tyler and Asher came over and helped me, and we got all the grapevines fertilized.
Which is the
and-
start of the fertilizing season. In September, it is fertilizing month for us here in Arizona.
Yeah,
Got
I'm a
that
little
started.
behind because I think that's about all I've gotten done so far. And then we also got the new bay leaf tree planted.
Right, so we had to pull the bay leaf tree. Survived a couple years, started struggling last fall. In through the winter, we started losing branches, not sure why. So we're gonna give it one more shot. We did a little bit of amendment in the soil this time, right? But you guys went ahead and got that planted. So we have a lot of things that are really doing wonderful here on the farm. One of the things I'm always so impressed with is the sweet potatoes.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
And they really, really get that second wind. Well, really, they start growing great all through summer. And so we get into August and they just start to take off and take over. The ducks had done a really good job of keeping the perennial sweet potato beds cleared, or at least cleaned up. They're a little behind
Yeah.
on it now.
Well, and we didn't have them out when we were gone either, so.
So now they're overflowing the beds and creating a wonderful ground cover for absolutely nothing. And then all of our beans, so the Tupari beans are behind us here. They're flowering out great. They're vining all over the beds here. We're just gonna let them pour down onto the ground and hope that we get a nice harvest of Tupari beans going into the winter. We also have the cowpeas that are fruiting really, really well. And for the first time, we actually saw some flowering on the okra. You planted that, what, a little over a month ago? Month and a half ago, maybe?
Something like that.
Right in the middle of summer, all those record heat days, planted those right then, and here we are going into the fall, and we're finally starting to get an okra harvest. So now, obviously in the fall season for everybody, you do get a fall flush for the next month, month and a half, maybe even a little bit more if you're in the city. So definitely time to start planting. I know we've got planting on our minds, also fertilizing. So wonderful time to get a lot of that stuff done and just look at the beautiful fall colors, which for us is green. You want green beans for dinner tonight?
Yeah, we could.
Oh, absolutely. It's not hard to kind of pinch off the stem. Just take the stem with it.
You just want the yellow one, right?
Some good sized ones.
This one got a little curled up. It's kind of stuck in there.
Oh, yeah. So there's a lot of factors that go into how hard our soil is. One of those being the very, very high clay content, and also down about 1.5 to 2 feet, we have a caliche layer, which is a really, really hard, rockish kind of layer. So whenever we're going to plant something, we do like to prep the soil. So what we're gonna do is show you today a couple little things we're gonna have in place for some plants that we'll be planting along the side of the turkey pasture here. Now we are going to be planting bunch grass here, so it is very aggressive. So we don't need to do a whole lot of prep here, but we found that when we planted the vetiver, the ground was still really hard, and while we had most of them take, we had one of them fail. So we want to try to minimize the amount of failure here. What you saw us putting down here today was a combination of goat bedding, so the goat bedding that we take out of their main enclosure. So basically that's hay and goat manure with a lot of goat urine on it as well. If you're going to be utilizing that, one thing I will caution you, there can be things like pesticides and herbicides in there that can be detrimental to your plants. So what we're not too concerned about here, because we're planting grasses, is that we would have any issues, and we haven't had that as we've used it for things like trees and grasses. If you're planting this for something else, I don't know that I would necessarily go that route. Goat manure is fine, but the hay itself could be a problem. The next thing that you saw us putting down here was a heavy layer of wood chip mulch. It's probably about 6 inches deep or so, and it varies a bit in through here. So we watered the ground down, we watered the goat bedding down, and then we've watered this in nice and heavy here. This will soften up the soil so that when we go into planting this in a week or two, it's gonna be a lot easier for us to plant. And more importantly, we have some nutrition in the soil itself that's starting to establish as those grasses start to establish themselves. Now we're here on the north side of our turkey pasture. We have our impact sprinklers that's overspray this area a little bit. We wanted to utilize that overspray so that it wasn't just evaporating and actually growing something beneficial. Now we know this works pretty well. In fact, let's go take a look at how the vetiver's doing with this exact same prep work that we did before. Now this is the south side of our turkey pasture area. We're gonna let these get nice and tall and then utilize these for mulch, and we're also gonna give a shot to see if we can use some of it for silage. Now I don't know that we'll necessarily be planting vetiver on the other side, but it will definitely be something similar to this, because seeing this much green in the area that was basically just muddy dirt and overspray, it's pretty exciting.
For a minute. Go in there for a little bit.
Come on, chickens.
They're just barely going.
Yeah. Come on.
Go!
There you go. So we got a shot of you coming through, knocking down the pasture a little bit, right? Now we're gonna have to come back and reseed this or overseed this. And timing works out pretty good because you overseed your winter rye, so the perennial rye that we use, and the alfalfa, both go in basically about now. So over the next week or two, we're gonna be overseeding the pasture. So you went through and you mowed that back in preparation for our overseeding. Now, you also saw us swapping out our layers, right?
Yes. So we had our new layers that we brought in and we didn't want to mix them. So we had our new layers in the 2 tractors over by our mulberries and blackberries, and they started laying. So we got little pullet eggs, and it was time for us to swap them. So we put our new layers in the big run and we pulled our old layers out and have those in a tractor now.
So now the new layers won't go out on pasture quite yet, right? Because we're training them. What are we doing for training?
When we shake the container of scratch, that they know that they will get a treat. And so when we have them out on pasture and we need to get them all back in for the evening, we can shake that and they all come running and go back in.
Right, and they get trained pretty well to that. I mean,
Yeah.
they basically all go in, so we can have out on pasture all day long. We shake that a couple times and they come running into the coop. So we also were bringing somebody else outside for the first time yesterday.
We did. So we had built our cat enclosure for the patio and we brought all the kittens out yesterday, put them in there. So they were a little freaked out at first, didn't know what was going on. But Willow especially, she ended up on one of the top shelves. And then she ended up in one of the sleeping cubbies and
Yeah, she's
sleeping
definitely
in there.
She's definitely the adventurous one. She always has been, and she continues to be that. So I get the feeling she'll be the first one to snag a mouse.
Yeah,
That's
probably.
my guess. But we're teaching them that their enclosure is actually where they will live and also get away from predators. So we'll kind of have to reinforce that a little bit because it's not the highest quality thing, but it's going to fit them nice and snug. So that won't be a problem. We just want to make sure that they can get out of the sun, get out of the elements, and more importantly, they can get away from predators when they need to.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing some rearranging there, but they have to get used to that first. We need to make sure they know that that's home base for them, and then they can go out and they can take care of all of our rodents, which are plentiful.
Yes.
So just want to thank you for joining us today. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. We cover a lot of things here on this newly established functioning farm here in the Arizona desert and would love to see you on a regular basis. If you have any questions or comments, those go in the
Comment section down below.
and our Amazon shop. I'll leave a link down in the description. That's a free, painless way to help support the channel. If you start with the link down below, it doesn't matter what you buy, you help to support us here. So just want to thank you for joining us today and remind you, if we can farm on the edge of nowhere.
So can you.
All right, let's get to work.
Okay.
I just did a Jack Sparrow run. You know what?
What?
Here, hold on. Your butt's on it. Oh, it's up there. I was gonna say. You could be Poison Ivy.
Are you trying to decorate
She's
me?
pretty hot, yeah. So you just do that. There you go. There you go. That'll work. It's not weird. It's not weird. It's not weird at all. That's
lace
gay.
it
That's just
along
no issues there, but that's just not my style. I learned to not put the forks over the top of that.
Yeah.
Break that again.
Yeah. You want me to fill it as you go, or?
Oh, right into the poop. Dang it. How is there poop up here?
They're all over the place.
And
So we train them for scratch. So we will start teaching them sound of the scratch so that they know what that sound is.
the sound of the scratch, what's the sound of the scratch?
Well,
Is that like the sound of music?
yes.